Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, North Haven. It is July 1st, 2013, and this is the Squared Circle. I'm Hollywood J. Williams, as usual.
John Zimmerman, right back at you.
Right back at you. We don't have as much to talk about as we usually do. We do have a couple of guests here, a couple familiar faces we'll be getting to. Also, we're going to try that call with Aubrey St. John a little later on again.
Yeah, I'm sorry we missed out on her last week, but hopefully this week we get it right.
Yeah, because I'd really like to talk to her about the fan festival up in Massachusetts that she was at.
Yeah, ironically enough, she was there, my sons were there, and they got a chance to speak to and meet Doink, who, the big story this week is he passed away. Yeah,
unfortunately, that's the breaking news. I guess I'll get started with that. Matt Osborne, the wrestler most known for playing Doink the Clown, died at the age of 55. He was found, the original report was he was found dead at the home of his girlfriend in Texas, but actually he was just unresponsive and died later at the hospital.
Yeah, the report changed in a couple, in the 2 days since it happened.
WWE issued a statement, quoting here, Osborne made a major impact in WWE under the grease paint of a prankster named Doink, one of the most enduring personas of the early 1990s. WWE is saddened by the news of Osborne's passing. Our deepest condolences go out to Osborne's family, friends, and fans, as well as ours here at the Square Circle. Definitely, your sons got to meet him, I understand, last week. And
yeah, he was standing next to and hanging out with Marty Jannetty. A friend of PWA.
Yep.
We're going to have a guest on a little bit from PWA. Two guests, actually, from PWA.
What do we have here?
One star and one future star.
What is going on here? I mean, we're going to have to...
Oh, the crack staff's not up to it
The crack staff. I mean, I'm going to have to put my own earpiece in it again.
But, yeah.
You know what? I'll let it go this time, but the next time I'm going to have to write somebody up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all there is to it.
We're going to have to get Vince and say, "You're fired."
I know, really.
I don't do a good Vince, sorry.
No, I do. It's like, "You're fired."
That's much better.
That's more passionate.
Yeah, there we go.
But, Aubrey, as a matter of fact, and Dana Casano, who's Daisy centering, mentioned it on Facebook too that they had, because Daisy was actually one of the Godfather's hosts over there that weekend.
Yep.
Unbelievable the response about Doink, and
Yeah, the full story is on our Facebook page, Squared Circle's Facebook page. You can see the full story.
Yeah.
But yeah, our hearts go out to his family, and obviously his girlfriend's got to be devastated.
It's hard to believe. You're here 1 minute, you're gone the next. And, just to see somebody like that, and they looked okay, and then all of a sudden,
The other sad news is this video out there. Jake the Snake Roberts fell off the wagon. His girlfriend apparently got out of prison, and they went out and had a little party. We're celebrating her getting out of prison. And unfortunately, Jake the Snake has backslide.
Hopefully it's not a permanent thing.
It's not permanent, yeah.
But hopefully it was just, or hopefully he can, if he's going back that way, it's not, he can control it where he does it once in a great while, and that's it.
No, I mean, you're either sober or you're not. With a guy like that, it's not, the occasional drink with a buddy. It's either all or none.
Yeah.
And hopefully, it'll go back to being none.
Hopefully it'll go back to being none for his sake. Because, everybody has their share of drinking sometimes, but I mean.
Yeah, but, it's obviously he's got a problem with it.
Right.
And, when you get to that point where it's actually a disease, it is all or none. It's not like, you and I can go out after the show and have a drink and that's all.
Right.
And, we go about our business, When you're addicted, you're alcoholic, it's all or none. And unfortunately, he fell back into it. You want to go out and celebrate, have a soda or go to the ice cream parlor.
Exactly.
Don't give yourself the temptation.
Yeah. But hopefully he can get his life back in order, because that would be great.
Yep.
But
so count him out for the Rumble this year.
I guess so. Anyway, we'll get over to Monday Night Raw. We have our guests here. I'll just give a Raw TV preview. We'll talk. I got some more news about a touchy subject that nobody really, a taboo subject that nobody really likes to talk too much about.
Right.
Revealing about this is Sandra Toffoloni, the sister of Nancy Benoit, also known as Woman.
Nancy Benoit.
Was recently interviewed and basically claimed that Chris Benoit would have died within a year of that unfortunate tragedy anyway.
Yeah, her statement said that doctor said that his heart was 3 times the normal size that it should have been. So, you know, with that, he would have either had a heart attack or just had heart failure completely. And unfortunately, you know, the guys from that era we're seeing more and more. I mean, Doink was a contemporary, and Doink passed away. We haven't found out the exact cause, but I would surmise
It could have had something, similar situation.
We're looking at that era of Superstar, and it's really strange because if you look at like WrestleMania 20, around that, you know, either WrestleMania 19, 20, 21, and you go down the roster, and it's like how many of those guys are no longer with us for one reason or another, and it's you know, not of old age, it's not of natural causes. You know, and you go down the roster, like I said, in the ballpark of WrestleMania 20, in that era, and you look at it, it's like this guy's gone, this guy's gone, this guy's gone. When we had Mario Mancini on, and he was talking about his contemporaries, and I was looking at him, I said, you know, Mario, you know, most of those people that you said are no longer with us, and he says, you know, come to think of it, you know, you're right. And ironically enough, Mario was at the Fan Fest, and next year he's going into the New England Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Right, exactly.
At the next year's Fan Fest.
I'd definitely love to be in attendance for that.
Yeah, he's going to be on the super ticket. And Mario definitely, you know, has his spot in history. He did, as we said on the show, he is in the WWE Encyclopedia. So, you know, we're excited for him. And, you know, we're going to have to make a trip up. I believe that's in Rhode Island next year. Warwick,
Rhode Island.
Yep. Yeah, and Rhode Island's always been a huge territory for WWE back in the Vince Senior days.
Right.
So, you know, that's got some history to it right there. You know, the Civic Center up there. I believe it was Providence Civic Center.
Providence, right. It's called Dunkin' Donuts Arena now, I think, if it's the same one.
Yeah, yeah. But, yeah, up in Providence, Vince Senior actually owns stake in that at some point.
Really?
And used to book all the shows there. So that, I mean, that's going way back. But you know, we're congratulating Mario Mancini on his future induction into the New England Wrestling Hall of Fame.
It'll be quite an event. I'd like to be, you know, maybe we'll have our own square circle booth up there.
Yeah,
we get to talk to the right people.
Yeah,
you never know. Yeah. Exactly. But getting to Monday Night Raw tonight, Raw kicks off the month of July in Sioux City, Iowa. The advertised match, the top advertised match for tonight is CM Punk and Intercontinental Champion Curtis Axel versus the Primetime Players, which is going to center around what's this thing between CM Punk and Paul Heyman? I mean, can CM Punk trust Paul Heyman? Was Paul Heyman lying to him last week? Did he really order an attack? Did he tell Brock Lesnar to come in and attack CM Punk? What's your take on the whole thing? Well,
I think we're going to get some resolution come SummerSlam. You know, this is what we're going to lead into. The Heyman guys versus CM Punk, you know, of some sort.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
So, you know, we may see tonight, you know, because Curtis Axel and CM Punk are teaming up. We may see some sort of turn on one another in the ring, you know.
I think the chances of that happening are very good.
Yeah, you know,
at the very least, there's going to be friction at the end of that match.
You know, maybe Curtis Axel will be getting the beat down and go for the hot tag, and CM Punk just pulls back.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa, yeah.
Exactly.
You know, which is a classic.
Or they'll accidentally hit into each other, which is a classic too.
Yeah, right.
And, you know, start shoving each other or whatever.
So.
Right.
I think you're going to see the dissension begin tonight because we're quickly running into the SummerSlam.
Right. And more about the match, the WWE title match at Money in the Bank, John Cena versus Mark Henry, and more about that. John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio, I understand, has been added for this evening too.
I think that's just spinning your wheels match. You know, I fully expect Mark Henry to get involved one way or another. At least do a walk out to the stage, distract Cena. Cena gets the loss. Some shenanigans, but Mark Henry will definitely get involved in that match.
We have a call already.
Yes.
We might as well take it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. You are live on the Squared Circle.
Yes, sir. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Great.
I just wanted to weigh in very briefly on the passing of Doink the Clown. I was a fan of Doink the Clown back in the early '90s. I always thought next to the Undertaker, he had the best theme music coming into the ring.
I think so too.
Right.
They would play that carnival music and then follow it with that very sinister music. I thought it was very, very cool.
He was a sinister, evil clown.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a good. He was a good wrestler. He was 58 years old. They said.
55.
55.
Oh, 55.
Yeah.
And I was and Paul Bearer was what 50? Paul Bearer was 57, 58, wasn't he?
I think he was a little older than that.
He might have been in his 60s. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, but that was
very
natural causes.
To the point you mentioned, John, about all the wrestlers from WrestleMania 19, 20, and even before that, how they were all passed away.
Yeah, and in their 50s,
Yeah.
Even younger.
So,
But Ed, if I may,
I do remember Doink. Doink was a lot of fun.
Ed, if I may ask you a question, have you caught Fight Master Bellator?
Say again?
Have you caught the show Fight Master Bellator?
No.
It's Bellator's version of the UFC's Ultimate Fighter show. It's a reality show, and it's in their second episode, and they're having a tournament to see who gets on the what team, and then they're going to have 4 teams of 5 combatants.
Now, this is on network television?
It's on Spike TV.
Spike? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I get Spike. I'll have to check it.
I think for a gentleman like you that's a fan of the boxing game, I'm desperate to try to get you into the UFC style fighting, and getting in on the ground floor with this show is a good starting point.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll check it out. I do enjoy the mixed martial arts when they're boxing, but then when you knock a guy down, you're supposed to go to I guess there's not a neutral corner.
Right.
But if you knock a guy down, then they jump on him. It kind of loses interest for me.
Right. They are going to have the finale of the Fight Master Bellator at Mohegan Sun Arena in September.
Oh, is that right?
So all of the TV shows leading up to the live event being filmed, being shown live right here in Connecticut.
All right, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Before I go, Jason, did you run Brantford?
I did run Brantford, 38 minutes, 44 seconds.
I'm very proud of you, young man. You still got it.
Yeah, I kicked butt this year.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, we'll talk to you later.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
I'm still tired from that too. I think if you participated in that race, you'd still be running.
Oh my goodness! I don't think I'd run more than 20 feet. I am the least athletic person in the room.
It was a good run.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I'm proud of you.
I exceeded my expectations.
I'm proud of you.
It's
Definitely.
not very easy to do. It's a lot of. I would run 12, 14 miles at a clip for a race that was only 5 miles.
Right.
Just to make it easy on myself in the end. But getting back to Monday Night Raw anyway. Also tonight you'll see more of Triple H and Mr. McMahon and their McMahon family drama, and how Raw ended last week with Daniel Bryan and his victory over Randy Orton. I understand they're both being fined for chair shots.
Chair shots, yeah, to the head. Yeah, that's the Mattel money. That's the Mattel fines.
The Mattel fines,
yeah.
Because you can't do that.
Can't do that anymore. It's the PG era.
The PG era, not the Attitude era.
You gotta sell action figures.
Exactly. Other things, they're going to be developing the individual characters of the Shield members. Dean Ambrose, who is the U.S. champion, he's actually starting to act more like a singles competitor now.
Yeah.
Than
Yeah, I mean, this is happening a little sooner than we thought it would, but obviously we predicted it would happen. It's a natural progression in the storyline,
right?
And you're going to see hopefully the three of them, make their own mark.
I think so.
Outside of the group component.
Mm-hmm.
But
definitely
another group coming in would be the Wyatts.
I think the Wyatts that are coming in, whenever they do get there, I think that's going to signify the end of the Shield.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to be the ones to finally do it because somebody's looking to take them out altogether.
Yeah. One group out, another group in. So.
Yep. And the Wyatt family is going to be very, very controversial when they get here. If any,
Yeah.
If anybody's seen their footage from NXT.
Yeah, I think it should be fun. We've seen some of the the promos.
Yeah.
The pre-tape shots, and I think it's interesting. It's a good move from the Husky Harris character to the Wyatt character.
The Wyatt,
definitely, it's a step in the right direction.
It's
anyway.
A religious cult leader gimmick.
Yeah. Well, it's something different anyway. And Husky Harris was not getting over at all. So, hey, just as Curtis Axel's getting a new, identity.
Curtis Axel
Husky
and
Harris is going to get
grandfather. They talked to his grandfather. Was interviewed. I don't remember by who, but he's very, very proud of his grandson and the things he's doing. And he says he very much deserves the spot he's in. He's been working hard for 5 years.
Right. And that's Larry Hennig, of course.
That's Larry Hennig. So I don't think he's just saying this because it's his grandkid.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And he's basically saying if they didn't want anything to do with him, they would have got rid of him already because they don't want just any,
Yeah. Yeah. Without a doubt. The kid has definitely shown some, some talent. He's making the right moves. He's moving up. You can see him week by week getting a little better at his craft.
Oh, I think so. He might even carry a world championship at some point.
I hope they don't rush it.
Yeah.
Just let it happen naturally. Let him go through the roster. Like the mid cards.
Give it a couple
and move
years,
his way up.
And then exactly.
Like next year SummerSlam. Give it at least a year to brew.
Exactly.
The slow burn is better than
exactly. You could appreciate his talent a little more.
Yeah, than a quick flash. I think so.
As far as Larry Hennig is concerned, he's running a real estate company, Larry Hennig Real Estate and Auction Company, up in Minnesota, St. Cloud, Minnesota, I believe it is.
Oh, the great state of Minnesota. We have news out of the great state of Minnesota also.
Jesse Ventura?
Jesse the Body Ventura. That's a great segue.
He's considering a run for 2016?
2016. Yes.
He is considering it.
Yes. Jesse the Body for president.
I think it's high time.
I follow his notes on Facebook and his conspiracy theories and his particular view on what's going on in our country. And I can't say that I agree with everything that he says, but you know what? We need somebody like him to be saying what he's saying.
Yeah, some of the conspiracies he's come up with seem to be a little far-fetched. Some of them seem to be, I could see that it's possible, but
in every one of his theories, there's, just a morsel of truth.
Right.
So, somebody needs to be pointing out the inequities of what's going on both sides of the party line.
Oh, yeah.
And Jesse definitely has no allegiance to anyone but himself.
Exactly.
And his opinion. And I think it's,
the party that he was in when he was governor, which was the independent, he's not even involved with them anymore.
Right, yeah. So he is definitely independent, in and of himself.
He might be the most independent politician that there's ever been.
And at the moment, he's not being funded by any special interest groups. So I think he's going to be his own voice. He's going to speak his mind. And I think, if he gets into a debate standpoint, he is definitely going to destroy all of his opponents.
Even if it's Hillary Clinton.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's Jeb Bush.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, if it's Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton, he'll just wipe the mat with them.
No
pun intended.
I think he would love to go up against the best that both parties
without a doubt.
would have to offer.
And if anything, we know the guy is a great talker.
Oh yeah,
he's a great talker. He's gonna be cutting promos on these schmucks left and right.
That's
left
about
and
it.
Right.
But we'll get to the we'll do the Money in the Bank rundown now, and then we're going to definitely bring out our two guests here.
Oh, absolutely.
It'll be time
we got a guest that's on a slow burn himself.
It's time to talk. We got a guest that's in a real slow burn. But Money in the Bank, here's what we have so far. This is the world title Money in the Bank. We're doing 2 Money in the Bank matches. World title is going to be Dean Ambrose, speaking of the Shield, Fandango, Wade Barrett, Jack Swagger, Antonio Cesaro, Cody Rhodes, and Damian Sandow.
An all-heel Money in the Bank match.
Exactly.
Who are they going to turn? Somebody's got to turn at the, there's going to be somebody that the crowd's going to get behind. And, hopefully it's somebody that Vince doesn't expect.
I would say either Fandango or Wade Barrett out of that group.
I'm not going to make a prediction because it could be, it's really up for grabs.
Then you have an all-star lineup with the WWE Money in the Bank.
All faces.
Rob Van Dam, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Sheamus, Kane, and Christian.
I'll go on a limb and I'll make 2 predictions. RVD and Christian will be on the ladder at the end. Who gets it? I won't predict, but I say RVD and Christian are going to be the strong front runners.
I think if they're going to bring RVD back and they were going to put him in this match, my
only reservation with that, it's too obvious.
Right.
It's too obvious.
It's kind of, I could see that.
One last run for Christian, coming back after the long hiatus.
Yeah.
That might be his reward.
I almost forgot about Christian's existence.
Right.
That's how long he's been gone.
So I think one last push for him.
We also have Chris Jericho against Feed Me
Roids.
I don't know.
You look at Jericho's schedule. Jericho's going over to Europe to tour with Fozzy. So he's going to be out of the picture, win, lose, or draw. Jericho's going to be gone from WWE for at least a year.
Yeah. So it almost doesn't really matter too much.
It doesn't really matter. That's just a time filler, something for Ryback to do.
Something for Ryback to do, some feud to give him, because they really don't have anything else for him at this point.
And I think the batteries in Jericho's jacket are just about dying out.
He's going to need to get him replaced.
Right.
We have Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler for the world title. I think Del Rio will keep it.
Yeah. It don't really matter. Yeah. Save it for the cash-in. So.
And then John Cena will, in my opinion, retain over Mark Henry.
And is there a Divas match on this pay-per-view?
There is no Divas match, which doesn't surprise me.
They're getting no love. No love for the Divas.
The only time Divas or Knockouts get love is when we bring them on our broadcast here.
Yeah.
And, call the big 2 out on the fact that they exploit them.
You would think You would think they would have a Divas match and promote the Total Divas show coming on the E! Network this month.
I mean, it could be added.
It might be added. It's not on the card at the moment.
Right. We're saying this now, and maybe later on tonight. I could see AJ Lee versus Caitlyn. That's the only choice you really have. That's probably what they would do if they're even going to put Divas on the card at all. But I think it's time we bring them out. Talking about independence promotions once again, and a certain independent organization with a certain wrestling school in New Haven, Connecticut, has a youth program. Yes. And your son's been actively involved in that youth program. Oh, absolutely. And the gentleman sitting next to him, Lucifer Lords, is helping out with the instruction of that. And we'll cut to them right now. Gentlemen, first things first, let's talk about the youth program. Lulo, what have you been doing with it? All the multitudes of students keeping you busy over there?
Oh, of course. Teaching one after another.
Yeah.
This top student right here, though.
There we are. Number one.
The apt pupil.
Oh.
As it were.
Number
Let's hear
one
from
son.
number one himself. What do you should get your foot in the door in the wrestling world. What do you think?
How's it been? Tell us about your experience. Like, if somebody's sitting there your age right now wants to go do it, well, what's it like? Is it hard? Is it easy? Is it what you expected it to be?
Really, it's in the middle of hard and easy. Some moves are like
Wrong
Easy
answer.
is-
You never say easy, because now when your trainer sees this tomorrow,
Yeah.
100 times harder.
I thought you were
Easy.
my trainer.
One of them.
Oh, I help it.
Right.
But the head trainer. But we'll just, maybe he's not watching. I don't know, or maybe someone won't tell him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to tell him, but go ahead.
Sometimes it gets easy, but most of the time it gets hard. As Buzz Bloodsaw it says.
Yep.
Most of the time it's really hard unless you're athletic.
Yes.
Well, nothing comes easy, even for me when I trained, and even still to this day. Not everything comes easy on the first try. Some
Yeah,
of the more
how's your
advanced.
back after that trophy shot?
Yeah. It's,
We're going to talk about that trophy in a little bit.
yeah, I got some. We'll get to it.
Yeah,
We'll
oh yeah.
get to it.
Oh yeah, the slow burn.
You
Yeah.
get some pieces in your back like McFoley?
I don't think they were in
burn.
my back, but people were coming up after the show and handing me pieces of the trophy. I don't know,
You deserve
was there ever a video of that? Did anyone ever see yet?
I haven't seen it, and I don't believe that
Not on the
it's
PWA
come off the
website.
editing desk yet.
I think we're still waiting for it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
I have no clue
I'm
as to
fueled to
what
the
you were
fire
talking
there.
about.
The Tough 8 trophy was broken over Lucifer Lord's back. And
I
that
don't
was,
believe it.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, it's the nice green trophy about yay big that Azrael will carry around with him as #1 contender. It is now in about a million pieces because
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago he shattered it over me.
Why did he do that?
Well, he's apparently not as good of a guy he says he is. Well, you know, we had a match, went to a time limit draw. I told him that I would be coming after his title, whether he wanted to give me a rematch or not. And I thought it was all good and dandy until he decided to hit me in the gut with it and then strike me over the back, which then shattered it into many pieces. Left
Now-
me a nice scar on my back to this day.
Now, I mean, that used to represent the Tough 8 tournament, correct?
It is, yes.
And then that was a trophy, and that named the #1 contender. Now, what's up for grabs other than the #1 contender spot?
Oh, I'm assuming that PWA officials are getting hopefully a new trophy,
Okay.
or some sort of prize to take home besides. I mean,
New championship.
all you really need is a #1 contender. That's all in my mind.
Right.
I'll take the trophy home, put it on my mantle too, and advertise it. But yeah, it's 8 men fighting for one spot to be #1 contender.
And they've named how many of the men so far?
So far, I could be wrong, but I think 3 out of the 8 so far.
And I've got it on good authority that later on tonight there's going to be a big announcement of the next entrant.
So I hear a lot of things though.
I'll predict, I'll go out on a limb and I'll predict Wrecking Ball will be the next entrant. He's making a big splash.
Mm-hmm.
Making a giant splash, the human Wrecking Ball, Legursky.
Wrecking
Not
Ball. is
Oh,
mistaken,
Ryback.
isn't he already announced?
Not as
But there were 3 announced.
today.
Was there already 3 announced though?
I believe there was 3,
What 3 do you
and
have?
unfortunately you weren't one of them.
Unfortunately, no, I'm not one of them, which doesn't make any sense to
Yeah,
me.
what's going on with it? I thought you
You
were
go
the
from being a champion to
I was on top of the company, 3-month reign as champion. I unfortunately lose my title. I think have to pull strings just to get a rematch, where I go to a time limit draw where I didn't technically get pinned. I didn't win the title back, but I didn't lose. Mm-hmm. And then PW officials seem to think that I'm not even worthy enough to be announced in the tournament yet. I don't know who they plan on putting in this tournament. I mean, they want the best of the best, but I don't know. I think our heelish deported commissioner had some other plans for me. I don't know yet. But now he's gone.
right.
So I have no idea who's taking over, who's making any of the decisions. But it just seems blasphemy to me that the guy who is rightful in line to be next hasn't been announced yet. I don't know if they're saving the best for last, or they just want to give me a headache for the next 8 weeks.
I think you may have to
I don't know.
name yourself commissioner and put yourself into the match.
I mean,
now-
I named myself in the tournament on another broadcast just a couple
Right.
weeks ago, and
Right.
it didn't seem to work. They ignored it, and I have rants on it about how I want to be in it, and they just don't seem to be acknowledging me. I don't know.
Who knows?
I
don't
think
understand.
it's a travesty of justice, and with the commissioner being out of commission.
Yeah.
He's out of commission now.
Yeah, the commissioner is no longer in the country. He's fled PWA,
He's fled the country.
Yeah.
Is he in trouble with the law?
Well,
I think he should be if he's going to be downgrading Mr. Lucifer Lawrence here.
Well, yeah. I mean, that story, hasn't unfolded as of yet, but PWA right now is without a commissioner. Lucifer Lawrence has not been named to the tournament yet. Jacob, did you put your name in the ring for the tournament?
He'll probably get in before I do.
I think he.
And maybe I'll trade with you. Maybe. $5.
$5.
Okay, 20.
$20.
Okay, 40.
Now he's just hitting me up for more. I don't know about you.
Wow. Keeps going up.
Yeah.
You better jump on it. You better jump on
I
it
want
right
you to
now.
teach him how to wrestle, and he wants money from you too.
Well, you complained about
The other
20.
way around.
Right. He's gonna
I was
take your
complaining
spot.
it's too much already.
He's gonna take your spot. But are you having fun over there, Jacob?
Yep.
Yeah. I know you're sweating. Real sweat.
Real sweat.
That ain't no joke. You come out of
Bleeding,
there.
sweating, and paying the price, like
Yeah.
Ric Flair used to always say.
Yeah, Ric Flair, who was just yesterday on Celebrity Life Swap with Roddy Piper. Mm-hmm. Ric Flair still living their lifestyle.
How was it?
Styling and
I did not see that.
Limo riding, styling and profiling.
Of course.
Right, took Roddy Piper's wife out, bought her some bling.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Roddy Piper lives out in the mountains in Oregon, and Ric Flair's girlfriend, technically not his wife, but Ric Flair's girlfriend had to go out in the country and actually, touch goats, which she had never done before.
Wow.
Cook, which she had never done before. It was fun to watch, and to see the two really different personalities of Piper and Flair. Flair, at least on the camera, is still living large, as he always did, and Roddy Piper is just a quiet homebody and not nearly as loud and obnoxious as he was on camera.
No. He
So-
just leads a simple, meager life.
Yeah, just he's training his son for a career in MMA. So we may see a Piper in the octagon
Wow.
rather than the wrestling ring.
Rather than the wrestling ring.
So that ought to be interesting. Mm-hmm. So it was a fun show. I wouldn't say it was great, but for anybody that's a fan of Piper and Flair, just to see these guys, outside of the wrestling world.
And that was always one of the bigger feuds in wrestling too. Piper and Flair.
Oh yeah, but you couldn't find two guys that respect each other more.
I think
than those two. Mm-hmm. And if you ever see any shoot interviews, particularly with Roddy Piper, he's got some great stories about Ric Flair.
Oh yeah.
That the shenanigans that they got up to would land them in Guantanamo today. The story of Ric Flair getting on, walking into the restroom on the airplane and coming out wearing nothing but his robe.
Nothing.
And the robe was not tied. So you got to see Flair and
you got to see the
Mini Flair.
Nature Boy.
Yeah, you got to see all the nature of Nature
Woo!
Boy.
We have a call on the line.
Awesome.
You are live on the Squared Circle.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Oh, the
Mr.
thunderous one.
Dacey.
How are you?
Great. Sorry you're not with us this evening.
Yeah, no, I'm home at my palatial estate.
Yep.
I see.
Taking care of some business, but I heard that old relic call in a little while ago.
Wow. Yep.
And I have a question for Jacob. Do you think you could take Mr. McCarver?
Just dress up like a jet.
Wow.
I think you might be able to take Hollywood J, too, I think.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm not ready to defend that North Haven title just yet. I mean, there's no compete clause with that title.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Where is that
I can
title?
defend it whenever I want. It doesn't. I don't lose the belt after 30 days, unlike some other belts.
Hey, Thunderous One, if I'm not mistaken, Ed McCarver has a nickname of a chicken or something like that?
It's Scrawny.
Scrawny.
Wow.
So, I don't know. I'd put my money on Jacob.
I would, too.
You're going to have to come down and check him out in the ring. He's doing an awesome job. I couldn't be more proud of him. And you know what? He comes back for more. They knock him down. He gets right back up. He comes back for more. Doesn't complain. Doesn't cry or moan. And just keeps getting up and, give me more.
Well, we'll have to make plans some night. You'll have to come get me on my palatial estate, and I'll have to come see Jacob in action.
We'll send the executive limo.
Exactly.
There you go. And I just had a question about TNA.
Well, you did?
It sucks.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole storyline with Brooke and Bully Ray, it's getting ridiculous. Now she's actually falling for him?
Yeah, you're going to see the heel turn, the Stephanie Hunter storyline all over again. It's like TNA is like a bad rerun of WWE.
It's a very cheap ripoff of WWE.
It's like watching old WWE videos hungover, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I watch both every week, and it's like they're trying to one-up one another.
Mm-hmm. It's the way it is, yeah. The aces and eights, I don't really, I don't think you have too much to worry about with aces and eights because I think the whole thing is coming to an end within the next few months.
That story's quickly gotten old
That's
fast.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's stale, it's old, and
Boring.
I know there's a local chapter of them out here, and we have intense security around this building, and
well, we got two of the premier wrestlers in Connecticut sitting right with us. So
Great to see Lucifer once again.
It's always a pleasure to hear from you.
But as we had said once before, John, in regards to aces and eights, the whole thing with Taz, it just doesn't work.
yeah, Taz has put out a tweet that he was going to be at a Raw event. Not too,
really?
Yeah, relatively
Maybe
soon.
to see RVD after he premieres.
Yeah. Taz's contract with TNA is up. There's no word if he's extended it, re-signs, renegotiated, and he put out a tweet that he's going to be at the next WWE Raw taping, and that was quickly removed from Twitter.
I would imagine it would have been. I don't imagine Dixie Carter and company are too happy with the fact that he tweeted that.
It may be just a ploy on his part to play one against the other, trying to get back. But
what do you think about Main Event Mafia? While we're on that subject.
Oh, I like the Main Event Mafia.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of strange seeing Sting in his business suit and acting like he's an Italian mobster. But
Yeah.
I mean,
it is what it is.
What do you?
It's already happened once, to my knowledge, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's a rerun.
It's a rerun.
TNA is just a rerun.
This
put
is
it in the blender, put it on again.
This is going to be Sting, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, and I believe Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
If I had to take a guess, that's
Do
the
you
next.
think they're
been
going to be the downfall of aces and eights?
I think it's going to be this slow, gradual. It's going to start the downfall of the aces and eights. Aces and eights is going to just combust on its own. That's what I think.
You know what? Austin Aries, Rude. Go over to WWE, fold up TNA, and give that TV time to Ring of Honor.
Give that TV time to Ring of Honor, and Ring of Honor can absorb whatever talent that WWE doesn't want.
Yeah.
I'll second that, John.
With the caveat that we're not going to sign anybody that was ever on WWE television or WWF television. So that would leave out Angle and Hogan and Hardy and all the rest of the old men. Bring up the young talent. Ring of Honor definitely needs
Good check.
a little bit of money poured into their product.
I think so.
Because they've got the in-ring. They just lack the really
I mean, they
large...
can hire these people as, like, backstage, like Angle or Jeff Hardy.
Right.
I mean, I have nothing too much against Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy.
You know what? They've had their day in the sun.
Yeah.
And, it's...
Oh, I'm not saying to compete wrestling. It's just maybe, as trainers or as, road agents.
Well, Hogan can teach you the leg drop.
Right.
That'll take all 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Hogan can just take his severance package. I think Ring of Honor should just buy TNA.
He should just retire already. I mean, between him and Brooke, they both need serious acting.
I thought Brooke was supposed to be a singer.
I don't know, but they both need acting lessons.
Yeah, and she needs singing lessons.
She's definitely not.
If you heard any of her singing,
nah.
Oh my goodness, it makes you want Yoko Ono back.
Oh Lord.
Before I let you guys go.
Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, I understand. Tomorrow night you are on with your show, and your guest is going to be Mr. Vincent Cervoni.
Yes, Wallingford Town Councilor and local musician, Vincent Cervoni.
Excellent.
Right, definitely. I believe I heard him play over at J-Rose a few weeks back.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
With myself and Kid Scrawny, Ed McCarver,
The
on
kid.
tomorrow evening at 7 p.m.
Great. Well, we'll be sure to tune in.
Definitely.
All right. Have a good night, gentlemen.
right.
And Jay, we'll see you after the show.
We'll definitely see you after the show. We'll hook up as we usually do.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Take care.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mentioned Ring of Honor last week, and that they were having their pay-per-view, and that did happen on Saturday. Again, as I had said, don't order it live, because the people that order it live, the stream kept cutting out, buffering issues, and when they did replay it, there was a bunch of jump cuts because they were having major technical problems. The card was great. The show was great. Unfortunately, the technical problems took you out of some of the matches.
Yes.
There was a point where there was a splash from the top rope. You saw, the combatant jumped, go on the top rope. Next thing, the guy's on the ground selling the splash. You never saw the actual splash.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ring of Honor doesn't have the technology yet.
Yeah, I have to confess. I mean, the only time I actually saw Ring of Honor was when they came to the not Hartford Civic Center. They came to the Connecticut Expo Center in Hartford once a few years back, and I went with a couple business associates of mine. Got to, we had decent seats, and back then a guy named Brian Danielson was working for the company, and another guy named CM Punk was working for the company.
Yeah.
So we got to actually, be up close and almost personal with these guys before they made it into the WWE.
Yeah.
And I won't forget that. And if they ever come back around, I do want to definitely check them out again.
They have some of the greatest talent going outside of PWA.
Of course.
Do you know any of the talent over there? Do you know the product at all?
Of ROH?
Yes.
I know a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't pay a lot of attention to it. It's not any personal reason. It just
You're busy with your own.
Yeah.
Busy with your own life. They're not really on television yet. You have to go on you probably, if you catch them on YouTube, you could probably.
They have small market TV deals. They haven't hit a nationwide TV deal yet. And like I said, they primarily do the pay-per-view, and they don't have the technology that, let's say, MLB has. The MLB network is actually contracts out all of their internet streaming to another company, and that's the premier company in the world, and there's no issues. So you know what, put a little extra money into it, hire this company to run your pay-per-views so you don't disappoint your fan base.
Right.
And they're running at about 1,500 buys on the live stream, and then some additional buys for the replays, because the replay is a little less expensive. But the live pay-per-views are like $15, $20 max, and you're getting a 3-hour plus show, and it's 90% in-ring performance, and you're getting some really good action. Unfortunately, as I said, their technology,
the TNA product will never ever defeat the WWE in any kind of ratings war whatsoever.
No,
the Ring of Honor product, on the other hand, might give him a run for his money.
I think so. With a little bit, like I said, a little bit of infusion of some cash into solving those internet problems and putting it into a slightly more slicker production value, I think you're going to see that they can be competitive. And I would think that if TNA were out of the picture, somebody would definitely pick them up. But with NBC Sports just picking up and Fox Sports Network just getting started, they're in their infancy now. NBC is brand new within a couple of months ago. Fox Sports Network is really amping up nationwide. You may see room for another wrestling product on a national scale.
Yeah.
As we're seeing with Bellator.
Would you really see it on a sports network, though?
You know what? Hey, there's programming, a 24-hour sports network, to give up 2 hours of programming a week, I can see it, definitely. I understand that it's sports entertainment, but, we see movies on the MSG network, that are sports oriented.
Yeah, see movies on ESPN that are sports oriented.
Right. So, they're looking for content. And sports-related content, and I think a wrestling program on your NBC Sports Network. I know they're going for an MMA show, much similar to what Spike has with Bellator and Fox has with
Yeah.
the UFC pre-shows and stuff. And
I think more Fox would probably take them on,
Well,
because NBC and WWE
Fox
always had
is- yeah,
a
but
great
Fox is-
working agreement.
yeah, but I mean, Fox is really entwined with UFC at the moment, so that may be a conflict of interest. I don't know if Dana White would, sign off on that. And you don't want to, the money that Dana White's bringing in with the UFC is a cash cow. I mean, the average of a UFC event coming into the city is like $3 million to $10 million, depending on the size of the venue. So I mean, Fox is getting a lot of eyes on their screen, for the pre-shows and the prelims and all that.
There's a tag team known as the Briscoes. I don't think they're of any relation to the Jack Briscoe or the Briscoe.
No, it's a gimmick name. You're talking about them coming in the WWE, of course.
I understand. I was informed earlier today. They have to come in. They have to come in quick. But not probably. I mean, I'm talking NXT, obviously.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't get a really bad gimmick and a really bad name.
Right. Because they were at that said card that I was at a few years back, and I was impressed by them too.
Yeah, I mean they coming out of Ring of Honor, the guys that are in Ring of Honor right now, Cole Cabana, why he's not a star, why he hasn't been brought up, it's beyond me. If you go on YouTube and look up any of their current talent, I mean the in-ring performance is there. Maybe they need to work on some promos. Maybe they, like I said, Ring of Honor overall needs a higher production value because they're running on a very small budget.
Yeah.
And some of the arenas they get are small and harder to light. Than.
Oh yeah. I don't think the Expo Center in Hartford is really.
Than what Vince runs and stuff. So, I'm optimistic on their future.
Yeah.
I'm pessimistic on the future of TNA. So we may see the number 3 knock the number 2 out at the moment.
It's sad too because TNA has a lot of great talent. Speaking of which, guy I've seen up at the NAFW card once before, the Big O, Adam O'Reiner.
I'm not familiar.
The Big O was Zack Ryder's good friend, something like that, on his internet show, whatever. But he had a TNA gut check on Thursday night. That's one of the few things I could say that is positive about TNA. They have this gut check. They allow an independent person. I don't know. You should try for that one of these days while TNA's still in existence.
It's a work.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You don't let any of their guys fight from gut check. What happened to this big gut check tournament where the winner goes into the BFG series?
Well, like everything else in TNA, they come up with an idea and then run with it for a couple of weeks and then just forget all about it. And they take us for fools thinking that we're just going to forget about it.
The gut check, though, I would say, whether even if it is a work, it's a good opportunity to see individuals from independent leagues.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a great concept, but like everything else in TNA, they don't follow through with it. And they made the announcement that the TV title was going to be fought, and defended every week on TV.
Every week, and
the following week that they made that announcement, it wasn't defended on TV.
Well, while D'Lo was not D'Lo, Devon was a face he actually defended the TV title every week there.
And he faced Robbie E. every week.
He faced somebody every week. It didn't really
pretty
matter.
much Robbie E.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And where's the Abyss was the title?
Still defending it nonetheless.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if you're defending it, it's the same person.
Yeah, but where's the Abyss with the title now?
Abyss.
Yeah, he has
He's
the
got
TV
the
title.
Yeah, he's got the TV title.
He does have the TV title.
Well,
why does he give it to his brother?
Right.
Why isn't he? I want to see him defend the title against Joseph
Your
Park.
gimmick
I would love to see that. Would be intriguing.
You could be the little Abyss, or actually the son of Abyss.
Mm-hmm.
Mini Abyss.
Mini Abyss.
We've seen a lot of minis come and go.
Yeah. But, so what's up next for Lucifer Lawrence? The tournament? You think you're going to get in? When's the next PWA event? What's happening?
Yeah, the next PWA event is going to be the 1-year anniversary show, which will have the tournament in it, along with the tag titles will be on the line. I think it's the only other announced match. Buzz Bloodsaw and Nocturne will be
Okay.
the KOK will be defending titles. I don't know if they announced an opponent yet, but I know they've announced they will be in action. And then, yeah, the tournament that hopefully I'm going to get into. Because, I mean, I think it's ridiculous I don't even get a rematch to begin with. I mean, I guess I got one, but if there wasn't an ending, I should get another one.
Right.
If there's no clear-cut number one contender right now, we have to have a tournament to decide it. How would you not go down the power ranking list and my name not just be next? But we'll have to figure that out in September. September 14th here in Connecticut will be the show. More details will always be announced.
Right, venue
as
hasn't
soon
been
as
decided yet.
offices are clearly messed up with the departure of the commissioner. They don't know where the show is going to be, what time, who's on it. I don't know. They got to get their facts straight first. Number one being making sure I'm in the tournament, and then figure out building location, time, and whatever.
You guys have a new competitor in the independent scene up here in Connecticut, I understand. RWA.
Yeah, there's apparently a new promotion. I actually checked it out myself. It wasn't a...
Were you in attendance on Friday night?
I was.
How would you rate it?
I rated it was pretty good. They had a good turnout. Good, good set of fans, very loud.
Their promoter was on center ring on Thursday evening.
Along with your boss, Joseph von Schmidt.
That's correct. But yeah, the show overall though was good. It ran a little long, but I mean, I think first show you can't knock the guy down too bad. He ran a good show, and he'll probably figure a thing or two out to make the show a little bit shorter. You can't really have intermission around 10 o'clock at night. Not that I'm by any means saying he ran a bad show by doing that, but you gotta at least have it a little under 4 hours. People start getting tired and start getting high and anxious.
Right, but for our first show.
Yeah. And I talked with the promoter a little bit, and he's open to coming on here at some point eventually.
Yeah, well then.
So we definitely we want to treat everyone as equals.
Oh yeah,
all you guys.
So Joseph von Schmidt, did he get involved in the match? I saw photos of him ringside.
Yes, he did. Whether he was supposed to be there or not, I don't know. But he decided to come out and shoot a promo on Vladimir Joseph, which a lot of people know. And apparently
CTWE.
Yeah, the former CTW champion. And I guess he's just put himself to a match with him. He feels he's the German Hammer, and he does have 16 titles under his belt. I guess he can do what he wants.
I believe on center ring he said 18 titles. 18,
yeah. I think the number changes a lot. I can't keep track of all his goals. But yeah, he's gonna put himself with a match against. I guess I don't know who's gonna stop him, because I wouldn't get in for. I've been in the ring with him, and if he came out to the ring and go after Vlad, then good for him. Otherwise, he's not coming after me.
Well, Jacob is actually in the ring with him every week, right?
Yeah, and you're the one saying that it's not hard enough. So what do you say when that gets
not hard enough?
I said sometimes it's easy. I never said it's not hard enough.
Well, I mean, Jacob does have 6 years of martial arts under his belt, and a little. I mean, there is some crossover in the two sports.
I say you train him pretty good, and then send him over to Japan, and then he can see how tough it really is.
New Japan, yeah. So, New Japan, their pay-per-views, right? And the tech on their pay-per-views is great. No, they never have an issue. You order it, you watch it, and everything's great. So maybe New Japan could teach them Ring of Honor how to run.
Maybe they buy Ring of Honor.
Oh, that's not politically correct, my friend.
Well, you know what I mean.
I was trying to avoid saying that their tech was better because it's.
No, I mean.
Well, let's say, hey, you know what? It's all invented over there, and it's all perfected in Japan, and they do put on a better product as far as the internet streaming goes. So maybe Ring of Honor can, have a little.
They can learn a lot from them.
Honestly,
they probably could, because it's the top company over there.
But can you see yourself doing any shows with RWE?
There's no reason why I wouldn't. If they asked me to do it and I liked what they proposed to me, I'd absolutely, lend my services to them. Maybe do a little Loose for Lords versus Buzz Bloodsaw. I know a lot of people like to see that. I was, I think one of the days I was saying that someone should book that. I think it was on Twitter. Yeah. It hasn't happened in a while, and he's the kind of guy you love and hate because he brings the best out of you, but they're always tough matches to go through.
Yeah.
But
Also,
you know.
the last one that you had with the 25-minute match, it's still, it's still just like locked into my brain of how great that was. And I watch Raw,
Better
I
than
watch
WrestleMania.
TNA, I watch Ring of Honor. I watch a
Okay.
lot of the product. We just got some Evolve DVDs.
I've been
last
on
week,
a
and
PWG kick, Pro Wrestling Gorilla.
oh no, I
What's
haven't seen
that?
that.
Yeah, I've been watching as they go, and they have these 5, 6, 7-minute video clips, little highlight packages of all the shows that they run.
Okay.
And these are just top of the line talent. Just basically every match wants to steal the show.
Really?
I mean, and they bring in everyone. I mean, the headliners are always ROH guys. Kevin Steen's at every show, Davey Richards, Adam Cole. Paul London's there sometimes. The Young Bucks are always there.
Oh, fantastic.
AR Fox and Samurai Del Solo are always there. Ricochet, all these top guys that just come up with these spots that I could never think of.
And if anybody that watches the show knows I am such an AR Fox mark, it's ridiculous.
And I have
He's
yet
a
to see
very
him
talented
wrestle.
guy.
Oh,
There's a match of him versus Joseph Von Schmidt on YouTube. You should check it out.
yeah.
would check that
I
out.
actually saw that in person.
Yeah,
That
I did
was-
too. And I think my jaw was open for most of the match.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely worth watching.
I haven't seen anyone move around the ring like AR Fox does, and some of the just some of the innovation he does. I mean, it's a variation of things you've seen before, but AR Fox seems to put his own little mark on it, and he's just something to see. Especially when he's in there with somebody that's a good worker.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to book Lucifer Lords versus AR Fox, I'm totally down for that too.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
why not?
I would put some money up for that. Definitely, I
You
would
should book
definitely
him for
love
the
to
next
see that.
show. You versus Air Fox versus Blood Sportsall versus Joseph Von Schmidt.
That's a tall order.
Wow.
You want to try and put that match
Better than
together?
WWE.
Yeah.
Every
Oh,
single
without a
pay-per-view.
doubt.
Every single show.
We're talking about some of the other products out there. Have you ever seen the XPW?
I've heard of it.
Wow.
I've seen some DVDs at like the mall or something.
Oh, you know what?
And I look at the back and I just see blood and light tubes.
Absolutely
And
over the top, insane. I love it.
I
love
say
it,
all
love
the
it, I love
Connecticut
it.
promotions just get together and put one big card on and put it on pay-per-view.
Oh.
The same night that the WWE's pulling the pay-per-view.
You know what? I would love to see that, but I think the first match would be all the owners fighting in the ring. Who's going to get top billing? Who's going to get what share of the cut? I think let's all get together, break bread, make some peace, and put on some great matches. I would love to see NEFW, CTWE, PWA, and RWE all get together.
Wouldn't it be a slap in the face to Vince McMahon if the biggest threat to him came from Connecticut?
I think the biggest threat to Vince McMahon is going to come from Connecticut, and the two gentlemen sitting right there.
you never know.
Quite possibly.
You got the next generation and the generation after that.
But guys, it was definitely a pleasure having you on. And good luck with your training,
Thank you.
Jacob. We have to wrap things up, John.
Wow, that was very quick.
That was very quick. I'm Hollywood J. Williams.
John Zimmerman.
Good night and good luck, and we'll see you next week. We'll talk more about that RWA.
Excellent.
Definitely.
Excellent. RWE. Check it out.